have me today. I wanted to put together something for you so you're like get a little more continuity from sinawali to what we call sinkitas, which just means to follow up. And in every system, they have what people refer to in the sinawali as single stick warm-ups or sagitas. That is your one side of the X, other side of the X, so slashing down and uppercutting, or from the angle one line and the back. And you'll notice when I go here, I want to keep this in front of my leg and in front of my shoulder. Just like we always talk about, I'm never going to take a position where I put the object or the weapon or the tool behind my back. I don't really subscribe to this whole chamber and fire thing. Yes, great for power, horrible for telegraphing, right? So this should be used when you've created an opening and you can really hit, right? Like baseball bat, great weapon, very slow, and if you miss, you're really exposed. So the idea in Kali was something a little shorter that you can wield one-handed. I should create openings and then maybe fire the power shot. Just like boxing, you don't headhunt somebody around the ring like this. You will never land it on somebody educated. Okay, so single stick warm-ups or sagitas. Sagitas just means to literally means to follow, but we use it as follow up, like follow up in a combination, like this backhand, uppercut, backhand. That's like a common one. But back to our list here. So one side of the X down, one side of the X from the backhand line to the uppercut this way. Horizontal, which is not like this. See how this is a half moon shape? It's like a perfect circle, basically. I want to go out like an elliptical reach and turn and reach and turn. And the reason for that is just like we're talking about with this thing, is I want the object in play immediately. From here, I can return if need be. If I swing and I keep the palm in the same orientation, it doesn't change till it finishes the stroke, and then it goes. So that's a lot of lag time where it's out of play, okay? So we've got one side of the X, forehand down, backhand up. The other side, horizontal, okay? And then commonly figure eight down, which can be like this, which is like a rolling slash, or what we call laptic, or it could be like the letter V. And obviously, these can be done both left and right-handed, and then upward figure eight, which again can be done as a rolling slash. It could be just used as like a wrist warm-up. It can also become some of the blocking like that. Okay, so just 5 simple shapes. One side of the X, what we call just the other side of the X. Horizontal, which horizontal could also be at the head, and it could be at the kneecap, but it does not have like an arc to it, so it's flat. Okay, and then figure eight down, which can be done as the letter V, or even the letter Y, meaning I would take the first shot, and then I slash the second shot. Or I slash the first shot, and I would take the second shot. So one is the full stroke, and one is a short jab, like that. Or they're both jabs, or they're both slashes. Okay, so what can we do with this with sinawali? Well, in the Inasana curriculum, we call this the probe series, but a lot of people have these. Like Pakiti Kurgia has what's called like the Dirty Dozen, which is sort of their single stick warm-ups. Everybody has a different numbering system. If you take 10 Filipino martial arts like Blindawak, Sayat-Kali, Pikiti Turgia, Arni Siniskrima from the Prefixes brothers, Prefixes family, Dose Paris, Inasano Kali, Lakasta, Lakai. These are all different types of FMA. It's like different types of jiu-jitsu. Everybody will have a slightly different approach, but it will be similar. And that's what you want to key in on, is because a lot of people, especially out here on the internet, right, we're like, oh, I've got the one thing. It's like, well, there is no one thing. Everybody has it. But they'll name it something different. So be really leery of like, oh, that guy, he doesn't even know our list. Well, yeah, he doesn't know your list because he's got a different list. But how we get to the strategy, how we get to the technique is the same way. If you learn an armbar in Eddie Bravo's 10th, 11th planet, whatever his jiu-jitsu is called, and you learn an armbar in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and you learn an armbar from John Danaher, and you learn an armbar from Javier Gracie, and you learn an armbar from John Jack Machado and RCJ Machado Jiu-Jitsu, it's all going to be very, very similar at the end of the day. Maybe the approach to get into the armbar is going to be a little bit different, but you're still going to be doing straight armbar from guard or whatever it is. Okay, so if you take your sinawali, and I'll just do, there's a bunch of sinawali. Sinawali just means combination. Literally it translates as like to weave or interwoven. The basic one, everybody has heaven six. Okay, then most people have standard six, which is also known as heaven and earth, and most people they have earth six. Probably most people have some kind of umbrella, right? Some people have like an odd six, right? But we'll just stick with heaven six for now, and we can go to heaven and earth too. Okay. So if we start closed, we could go something like downward X, and the third beat is actually the start of the sinawali, and then the two backhands. So we'll finish the same. And then downward X on the left. That third beat is actually my angle one to start the sinawali. So see the sinawali, angle one, two backhands. Forehand, backhand, backhand. Now we're just going forehand, backhand, forehand, and then into the sinawali. Forehand, backhand, and into the sinawali. So if we go one side of the X, forehand, backhand, and into the sinawali. Forehand, backhand, and into the sinawali. Horizontal and into the sinawali. So see, this can start changing the shape because now I'm hitting a flat line, and then I'm finishing with the two angulated backhands. Same thing if I went upward figure eight, one, two. Now it's an uppercut, but I'm going to finish with the two backhands. Upward figure eight, backhand. Okay, we could go one, two, three, and we could go into umbrella. One, two, forehand, and into umbrella. Okay, so you can kind of match it on both sides as long as you end with a forehand, a backhand, and a forehand. So even if I did the other side of the X, I told you to come down because that's how the warm-up is done. But I could go uppercut, slash down, uppercut, and I could go into the two backhands like that. One, two, three, and then two backhands like that. Okay. The other way to deploy it is asymmetrically. So we're going to start open, and our left hand is not going to match what the right side is doing. So if we go one side of the X on the left, we would go maybe umbrella three on the right, but we'll take the last blow and we'll come back open. So then I might go uppercut three, umbrella three, horizontal three, umbrella three. One side of the X down three, umbrella three. Other side of the X three, umbrella three. This way. And then we would switch to the right side. Downward X three, umbrella three, that kind of thing. What this does is just gives you tremendous variety. It gives you some linkage between your sinawalis. Like I like this Picasso 8 count that's like high-low and two backhands. But then I could go even abanico, right? That's forehand, backhand, and then I could go back into some kind of pattern, abanico and back. So it doesn't have to match up on either side. In fact, you could go like downward X3, two backhands, uppercut three, two backhands, open up one side of the X3, umbrella three, right? Redondo three, back to the umbrella. Oh, I do this 4 count here, abanico, sinawali, abanico, sinawali. And pretty soon you're able to move a little bit more freely, and it's not as monotonous when you hit the heavy bag or whatever you've got to hit with your collie sticks to give you a little bit of conditioning. You're not just doing, oh, okay, 2 minutes, sinawali, I'm just sitting here, I'm going to do the same pattern, which is great for conditioning. This is also more realistic because just like bad movies, right? The guy runs down the alley just doing this figure eight twirling, and then you get shot, right? That's not a good strategy for defending yourself either. It might be like high backhand, low backhand, high backhand, boom, and then a blitz. And the blitz might not be all 6 motion. It might just be 1, 2, 3. Why 1, 2, 3, right? This is the opener. Maybe I smash the hand, I block something, and now you can really get through, right? That's your power shot because you open things up. I'm chipping away, or maybe I'm running this figure eight to like, hey, keep away from me. You're not going to enter my space. I'm like, I have these jabs going. Oh, but I know at any time I can go into that sinawali, that combination. It's a fast blitz. It's just like a boxer, right? I'm jabbing, I fake a jab, I low jab, I high jab, and then cross hook cross, right? You're waiting or you're cultivating or creating an opportunity to deploy better firepower, right? That jab is the opener. It's setting up shots, it's creating movement. It's also affording you defensive opportunities. So I'm defensive behind the jab. I'm offensive behind it, setting things up. It's also giving me clearance for the real damage that I want to throw out there without exposing myself. Same with the collie. The downward X, a little light backhand, a high low, that is setting up the ability to run the sinawali as a power combination and to deliver that blow. Not just walking around chasing somebody with your elbow behind you. Okay. I gave you a lot, just a couple minutes. Really, if you play with that, take the basics first, work one side of the X, get that smooth, stay in front. Remember, key detail, don't swing behind you, but keep it in front of the knee, keep it in front of the shoulder, right? If it's horizontal, make a little elliptical with it, a little arc. Don't swing the whole way and then turn your hand when it gets behind you. We did a downward X, which we can do as sort of the letter V, or it can be rolling. You can go all the way through, or what we call the letter Y or reverse Y. One side is short, one is all the way through. One side is all the way through, the second side is short, right? And then you can blend this in any sinawali combination by going forehand, backhand, forehand, and then firing the double stick, or being asymmetrical. One side is the forehand, backhand, forehand, and the other side is your sinawali combination, which you'll just end up doing like half of it, right? Some people call that heaven three, umbrella three. You're just doing a portion of it. All right, YouTube, that's what I got for today. Thanks for watching, Warriors. I'll catch up with you later.